Good evening, everybody. I will call to order the town board meeting down in Windsor for March 6, 2019. The first item on the agenda is the CDBG Community Development Block Grants for fiscal year 2020. Mike, would you like the floor? Start discussing what projects we've been looking at.
Thank you, George. Michael Weeks with McGoey House and Etzel, the town engineer. And so each year the county has what they call the community development block program. And the town has been pretty successful in each year annually getting a grant that they can use for various improvements in certain census tracts of the town. So this public hearing tonight is to seek input from the public if there are projects that the public would like to see the town consider for application in this grant program. You can make suggestions, submit your projects. Generally speaking, they have to meet certain criteria. So they have to be, I'm just looking for my map, they have to be in one of the eligible census tracts of the town. So that means they have to meet certain median income requirements, lower median income requirements in order to be eligible. Or the project has to solely benefit seniors, or the project has to be solely for accessibility, basically removing barriers, they call it. So like if we didn't have a handicap accessible bathroom in town hall, and that would be an eligible project. So the town right now is considering a couple different projects. The first project would be drainage improvements, Hilltop and Stonecrest. It's kind of a second phase to the project that we were awarded last year. Currently, the county has indicated that there may be some additional grant monies available from last year's unused portion, so we're hoping that we may be able to complete this project with the additional funds, but if we don't, then that's one of the projects we're considering. Next project would be improvements at the old Masonic Hall, which is being considered for kind of the new senior center, so we'd be looking to make some improvements there, possibly improvements to the parking lot, possibly a standby generator, possibly some interior renovations. And then when working with Anthony, we've identified a couple other choices for stormwater improvements, which would be Lush Lane and Lacey Fields. And then as kind of one more option would be tagging on to the overall town-wide water meter project that we're undertaking right now would be possibly breaking out water meters in the eligible areas of the town. One other point, which is new this year, the town is obligated to adopt a fair housing policy as part of being part of this program for being eligible for the monies. So we need to basically provide the public evidence that we're doing that. So we've got some copies of what that resolution will be. I don't know if the town, if it's on the agenda to adopt the resolution. Oh, it is to adopt the resolution?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think it's on the next meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we do have copies of that, if anybody would like a copy, and it's also, I believe, posted on the town's website.
All right, anybody have any questions or any comments or any ideas for projects? Yes.
Me?
Yes, please.
Kathy Braun.
Kathy.
I don't know if this qualifies, but this parking lot needs repaving.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does.
Big time.
Yeah,
That's not under the,
it doesn't qualify under the CDBG, but it really does. Actually, we're gonna be doing some work, not on the parking lot this year, but we're gonna be finishing the sidewalk project. If you remember, we did the front sidewalk. Now we're gonna be going down the side and down the steps into the police department.
well, good, that needs doing too.
Oh, yeah, it does. You know, concrete only lasts so long, unfortunately.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we're gonna move that, but, I wish it did qualify, Kathy.
Yeah, there's two of us, or
But,
how many of us?
Anthony and I have been talking that we may consider to see what the price is to put the slurry on in. So, but it's been a long time since that parking lot's been paved.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody got any questions about any of these projects? No? Okay. I'll tell you, I'm very fond of the one that, has to do with, the Masonic, the old Masonic Hall, where we're gonna move some of the senior functions down there, and, I think, you know, that we need to expand the parking down there. Anthony and I have been looking at that. There's grass pavers down there, but I'm not keen on people walking on those grass pavers. Mike, anything else?
Unless anybody has any questions?
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion, town board of Town of Windsor, to close the public hearing of the Orange County Development Program fiscal year 2020 projects proposals for the community development block grants.
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom,
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey.
Yes.
Supervisor Green.
Yes. All right, any comments from the public on any agenda item?
So we have to adopt one.
No, we don't have any, do we have an adoption on the community development yet?
No, just the fair housing policy later on.
That's later on.
George, I think there was a handout in the back.
Sir, I can't see it.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Santiago, 92 Creamery Drive, and I just wanted to comment on number 7 on the cancellation of the agreement with Biotech. I just want to say how happy I am that that is being canceled, and I just ask that in the future, you kindly please give consideration to the quality of life of the residents, because I really think that that would have been a horrible idea. Thank
Thank
you.
you for your comments. Okay.
Another lady here.
Hi, my name is Kathy Ives, and my husband and I bought in this neighborhood, and we were just a little worried about the strategic direction of where the town of New Windsor is going in. In the last couple of years.
Is this, wait a minute, hold on, is this got to do with an agenda item?
Yes, it's number 7.
Yeah.
It pertains to bio-high-tech, because we would have been living within a 500 feet radius of the development. So I just wanted to second Ms. Santiago and say, you know, we're really glad that the town saw the need to cancel this project, because it really would have been a detriment to the residents.
Thank you. Anyone else? Chair will take a motion, town board of Town of Windsor approve the minutes of the town board meeting held on February 6, 2019. 2019, that's February, yeah. As per copies posted on the town clerk's bulletin board in the town hall and same distributed to each of the town board members.
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom,
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey.
Yes.
Supervisor Green.
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion to authorize the supervisor to execute change order number 2, Union Avenue and Express Drive Interconnection Project, Engineers Project, excuse me, 15-7017 as per the attached resolution.
Move. Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom,
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey.
Yes.
Supervisor Green.
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, town board of Town of Windsor award contract for environmental testing services at the Cedar Lane wastewater treatment plant to Quality Environmental Solutions and Technologies Incorporated in the base bid of $5,949 as recommended by McGoey, Hauser, and Esso Consulting Engineers, DPC, in the attached correspondence.
Move.
Second.
Roll
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
call. Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board of the Town of New Windsor approve the appropriation of up to $1 million from the Sewer Fund Reserve and reallocate said amount to the Capital Projects Fund as a source of funding for the portion of the sewer pump station's standby generator project not funded by the New York State Water Infrastructure Improvement Grant.
Move. Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board of the Town of New Windsor authorizes solicitor's permit submitted by Alex Munson-Bob, or whatever it is, 656 Danbury Drive, Red Line, Pennsylvania, doing business as Keystone Novelties LLC to sell New York's legal sparkler products from a temporary tent at 374 Windsor Highway in the town of New Windsor. Permit should be obtained from the town clerk's office.
Moved.
Second.
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion that the town board of the town of New Windsor authorizes solicitor's permit submitted by Douglas Perry, Power Homes Remodeling Group LLC, 372 Danbury Road, Wilton, Connecticut, to solicit free estimates on windows, siding, roofing in the town of New Windsor. Permit should be obtained from the town clerk's office.
Move. Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes. This is the one you want to hear. Me too. Chair will entertain a motion, the town board of the town of New Windsor authorize supervisor to execute the annex rescission and cancellation agreement for first purchase of real property identified on the town of New Windsor tax map as section 3, block 1, lot 55.22, consisting of 12 plus or minus acres, upon receipt of land studies from Bio High Tech Direct Town Controller to return all option payments made to date, which total $66,000 to Bio High Tech, in accordance with the attached resolution.
Move.
Second.
Roll
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, the town board of the town of Windsor shall, within available resources, assist all persons who feel that they have been discriminated against to seek equity under the federal and state laws by filing a complaint with the New York State Division of Human Rights in the United States Department of Housing, excuse me, and Urban Development as appropriate in accordance with the attached resolution.
Move. Second.
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion. Chair will entertain a motion, the town board of the town of Windsor hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute the attached payment processing agreement with CSG Forte Payments Incorporated for the setup and management of credit card and debt card processing in the office of the town clerk for payment of any fees, fines, penalties, etc., in accordance with the resolution attached hereto.
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes, good job.
If I may thank the board, it's really going to help the residents, because as I said, that a lot of people do not carry cash, and they have for a long time asked if they could use credit cards, debit cards, which up until now they could not. So I'm happy that this is done. Thank you all so much. Attorney Zagon, thank you for all your input and getting everything you did in there.
This, like you said, it's long overdue. Chair will entertain a motion to authorize supervisor to execute an environmental assessment form and declare a negative declaration, infiltration and inflow study. Planning grant, 83064.
Move. Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Munster?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes, not wanting to read the several pages of resolution, we received a $100,000 planning grant for sewer inflow study. The state clean water fund. We have a $20,000 matching part of that. Chair will entertain a motion to supervise and execute an agreement and appropriate funds, New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation, Engineering and Planning Program Grant.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Munster?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes, I was beginning to think he didn't want that $100,000.
No.
Chair will entertain a motion to authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with Going Hauser and Esso Consulting Engineers, DPC, for the infiltration and inflow study planning grant.
Move. Second.
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Munster?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes. Motion, Chair will entertain a motion to authorize Schlesinger Steakhouse to dispense alcoholic beverages at Christine Babcock Memorial Park on the Windsor Community Day, August 24th.
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Munster?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes. Hearing no objections, the Town Board of Town of New Windsor receive and file certificate of determination for sale and issuance of $7,500,000 public improvement sewer bonds.
And I would be sitting over there saying, what?
What? Ooh, you sure here. Hearing no objections, Town Board of Town of Windsor receive and file amended and restated non-disturbance agreements and recognition agreement dated February 6, 2019 between the Town of New Windsor and New Windsor Medical Properties Incorporated, LLC, in accordance with the amended and restated ground lease, Town of New Windsor and First Columbia International Group, LLC, dated January 1st, 2012. Hearing no objections, Town Board of Town of Windsor receive and file agreement dated February 7th, 2019 with McGoey Hauser and Esso Consulting Engineers, DPC, for professional services in connection with the installation of a standby generator at Town Hall. Hearing no objections, the Town Board of Town of Windsor receive and file with the Town Clerk a letter of resignation from zoning board member Henry Scheibel, 528 Mary Lane, New Windsor, New York, effective immediately. I would like to thank Hank for his services. Hank has been a dedicated member and a dedicated resident of the town of New Windsor. We're going to miss him on the board. He did a wonderful job. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board of Town of Windsor. Authorize the reduction of the performance bond for public improvements for Meadowbrook Major Subdivision Planning Board 1-42 from $1,353,557.66 to $274,351.04, as recommended by McGoey Hauser and Esso Consulting Engineers, DPC, by correspondence dated March 1st, 2019.
Move. Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes, hearing no objections, Town Board of Town of Windsor receive and file fully executed supplemental agreement number 2 dated February 28, 2019, between the Town of New Windsor and CPL, formerly known as Clark Patterson Lee, for the replacement of the Lake Road Bridge over the Metro North Railroad project. Anthony, do you believe we're finally almost getting there?
We get it erected, yes.
Your poor father, man, he's gonna be saying, wow. The pursuant, pursuant to the motion, the pursuant to New Windsor Town Code, section 113-1, the Town Board of the Town of New Windsor requests Town Code Enforcement Officer and Engineer for the town to prepare an inspection report regarding the unsafe building condition of property owned by Michael AKI MOV, located at 708 Mount Airy Road and identified on the New Windsor tax map as section 66, block 1, lot 4.
Move. Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Morale?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Supervisor Green?
Yes. Following reports were received, recorded, filed with the town clerk. Town clerk's report for February 2019. Tax receivers, water, sewer, and garbage report for the month of February 2019. Monthly tax statement for the month of February 2019. Justice Court, Myers for February 2019. Justice Calvin's report, for the month of February 2019, and the Police Department's report for February 2019. Board, anything?
No.
Nothing.
Okay, we'll open up under public forum.
One thing,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
just, I wanted to say that, we're in the process, the rec department and myself, of, finalizing the plans for registration for season 2 of the spring special needs soccer, for kids, that, you helped set up. So that registration should roll out, end of the month or early April.
Good, wonderful program.
Yep, that remains free for all kids who want to participate.
Okay, before I go into the complete public forum, is there people here from the Little Britain Cemetery that would like to speak?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name's Robert Reynolds, I'm the president of the Little Britain Cemetery Association.
I kind of thought that was you yesterday. I wish you'd come up and, when we were talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
several years ago, right?
yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm here to see if you can give me any kind of help in maintaining the cemetery.
Mm-hmm,
Preferably removing trees. There's some trees along the stone wall fence.
mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering if you have equipment or not to remove trees.
Yeah, we do have, Anthony's got equipment to remove trees. Why don't you do this? Yeah, we're obligated under law, state law, to assist. Now, are you an association or are you secular?
Association.
Okay, why don't you do,
Non-profit.
why don't you do this? Why don't you come in, you and I and Anthony will get together and we'll discuss it.
Okay.
We'll discuss what you need done and we'll set out a time frame and get it done. All right?
Okay.
You know that, we're obligated to, any private association, providing this private association,
Okay.
that we're obligated to, help maintain the cemetery if they're unable to maintain it. And, that's how we ended up with Woodlawn Cemetery.
Good one, right.
So, we will most certainly do everything we can to maintain the cemetery.
Okay.
Help you maintain it.
Good.
So why don't you just come on into the office, or call Arlene.
I'll get his name.
Okay, you get a name and come on in, we'll sit down, we'll discuss it, how and when and, why.
Okay,
All right? Good,
that's good.
great. Anyone else?
So we're taking over another one.
All right, well, listen,
I didn't know.
we did take over Woodlawn and Keith, it's done a wonderful job. I mean, it is absolutely immaculate compared to what it was. Anyone else? Don?
Every so often, I'd like to thank the board, yourself, Debbie, the highway department, police department, for the fine job, and the law department, of course, for the fine job that they've been doing, these many years that I've been up here. And, a lot of times you don't get the recognition that you normally should be getting. But I just wanted to bring that up every so often to just let everybody know the great job that everybody's been doing, even with the snow removal and
Anthony
and everything.
did a wonderful job this year in snow removal. Hopefully it's over. Hopefully we have some money left in the snow removal budget, Anthony. Anyone else? Barney?
Yeah, I have a question. Is there a potential replacement for, on the ZBA with the resignation of Henry? I mean,
It's
we
been
got
replaced,
it's
I
down
think.
with 4 people.
No, I think it's been replaced, hasn't it? Didn't I make an appointment list?
No, that was plenty more.
I was planning.
Oh, planning, okay.
Because we lost an our alternate, and now with the resignation, leaves us with only 4 members on the board.
Well, isn't there an alternate on the,
No, there was, but he's been moved to the planning.
Yeah, no.
oh, yes, you're right, that's right. We moved him from the alternate on the zoning board to the planning board. No, we'll put somebody in. Yeah, you're right, Barney. Actually, we need 2. We need a regular and an alternate. You're right, we'll do that. Anyone else? Sir?
My name's Brian Olson from Shaw Road at Rock Tavern. I'm here with a couple people from Shaw Road, and I just need some help from the town on the Esposito and Apple Ridge Estates project that's going on, and with the current farmer who owns the property. I live literally right across the street from the apple orchard. A lot of trees were removed and dumped on the side of the road, and for over a year now, we have a wall of dead trees. I spoke to Robert Maynard, who owns the property, and I talked to the daughter-in-law who owns the property. They're unwilling to work with us because they're claiming agricultural rights, but he already has claimed to me that he did it as retaliation for a DEC report that I opened up with him due to the chemical spray that was on my property. 0.063 is the limit. It was over 145 for mostly all the chemicals that he sprays on the apple orchard. That includes my front yard, my front house, my siding, and stuff like that. So we've actually complained to the town, wrote a lot of complaints within Robert Maynard and the apple orchard to get those trees removed, and we feel like there's no recourse right now. We're just looking at a wall of dead trees. Robert Maynard has claimed that it's a retaliation, but he also claims that he has to talk to Esposito, and he also has to talk to the town because it's their responsibility or approval for him to remove the trees. And we're kind of getting mixed information on who's true to what, on who can remove the trees or not.
Do me a favor, give me a call tomorrow,
Okay,
and I will check with the building department,
okay,
because I don't know that he had any prior authorization from the building department or, planning to go ahead and start, I don't know, what are they doing, clearing and grubbing in there?
well, they cleared off, major rows of trees, and it was just right in front of my property and my neighbor's property, and really it was, he claimed that it was retaliation for a report from DEC that I called. I've only been a resident for 5 years within the town of New Windsor, and I only had this house for about 5 years, so I tried to reach out to Robert Maynard and the farmer of the property, and he just didn't want to talk to me. And I was concerned about the chemical spray because my windows and front door were always constantly white with the film. My car was covered with a white and film due to the chemical spray. So I reached out to the DEC, and the DEC said, that's not acceptable, we'll be right over. And after their testing, he was fined a lot of money. I understand he's upset about it, but building a wall of dead trees and making residents of Shaw Road look at this, regardless of what happens with the Esposito contracting property and the Apple Ridge Estates going forward, at least let's not look at dead trees.
Yeah, no, and if he's clearing and grubbing and putting them on the side of the road, I got an idea Anthony would be a little interested in that also.
I think he's got stopped because he started clearing while he was in the planning board phase.
Yeah,
I think they sent someone out there to stop him.
okay,
I think that was the original.
all right, but call me tomorrow and we'll get the straight information from the planning, and we'll send somebody out to look at it, and if it's obstructing vision,
Yeah, as a taxpayer, it's an eyesore. It, like, degrades our value of our house and the road itself.
You just
Shaw Road's a beautiful road with the apple orchards, and looking at dead trees.
Yeah, you just-
Yeah, fire hazard as well. I mean, they're apple trees. They've been laying
We'll
there.
send somebody out to look at it and see what we can do.
Okay,
Give me a call tomorrow and we'll discuss it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay?
The fire inspector also had contacted us.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
The fire marshal had also contacted us, and he said that he would take a look at the situation.
All right, I'll send somebody out from the planning board. You do have to remember that, and we're going through this in another situation, the right to farm laws are very protective of farmers, so. But we will look at it, and, you know, Dave will take a look.
Yeah, that's my concern, is that he's holding the right to farm law,
Mhm.
but then he also, I mean, he claimed it was retaliation, so he knows that, you know, he built that wall purposely as, haha, thanks for the DEC, you know,
Yeah, they
DEC
found the
report.
fix. Yeah.
Yeah.
The right to farm does not give you the right to be a bad neighbor.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm getting at, yeah.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
I think the town, hi, I live next to him.
Okay.
There's Jose Gonzalez, I live right across the street on the apple orchards. I had called the town, and they had told me that, they stopped injunction of building anything because I think that the, plans were to leave some of the trees as.
I don't, that you would have to go to the planning board
Well,
over.
that's what they said, they said they were gonna leave some of the trees, and then leave like 200 feet of trees in the front, and then start building behind the tree to make it look beautiful. But then the farmer decided to knock them down, so they stopped
Well,
anything he was doing, so.
That seems to me it would most certainly change his site plan, wouldn't it? And it may be such that you may have to do some refining. Okay?
Thank you.
Anyone else? Motion to close the public forum.
Move. Second?
Councilman Morrow?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Lindstrom?
Yes.
Councilman Moore?
Yes.
Yes. Motion to adjourn.
Move.
Second.
Councilman Morrow?
Yes.
Councilman Regenbaum?
Yes.
Councilman Lindstrom?
Yes.
Councilman Malarkey?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you all.